Hello and welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. It's my Eurovision 2023 semi-final 2 qualifying predictions. As always, please do click the subscribe button, ring that notification bell and like, share and comment below. So yes, it's another day. I'll be heading off shortly to go and see the family show, the dress rehearsal of semi-final 2. Of course, they've already had one dress rehearsal in the evening, ticketed one last night. So there's a bit of feedback on how things went. So this is just me really running through who I think is possibly likely to qualify and where it's a bit more uncertain. I think I got a lot of the runs right from semi-final 1, but yes, there was one or two that I wasn't quite so sure on. Same really applies for semi-final 2. Before I get into that though, I'll just sort of reflect on the day I had yesterday. We went up to Liverpool again and to see all the Eurovision village. We went to see we saw Caria and also Marco Mengoni, who almost did like a mini concert for us. But both went down extremely well, so that was great to see them. Also happened to see Pasha Buffoni from Moldova wandering around when we were having a pizza. He walked past an Albert Dock, and then in the evening went to a little show with Dai Freyr, who of course represents Iceland in 2020 and 2021, doing a whole set of Eurovision covers in his own imitable style as well. So that was a lot of fun. But yes, all refreshed sort of for the coming day. So in terms of this semi-final, this has always been described as the kind of, some people have said it's the weakest semi-final, which I think is a little bit unfair perhaps, but it has been perhaps been the more open semi-final, because the other one was really, really tough. That said though, when I've been sort of reflecting, I think there's a chunk of what very likely qualifiers, and then there's a scramble perhaps for the last 2 places. In my view, I could be wrong on this one. So in terms of just going through who I think are definitely qualifying, I think Armenia is a dead cert to qualify. It's in an awkward spot, it's in the second spot, but I think from all we're told it's striking, both in terms of vocals and the song and the visuals. I don't think Armenia are going to have any trouble going through. I think Belgium are going to go through. Huge reaction from the crowd. It's been going up in popularity all the time. I think this is very televote friendly. So I think that one will go through. Cyprus, really solid, great vocals, great visual staging. I'm pretty sure, and again, good diaspora voting as well. I think Cyprus will be through. Slovenia, I'm confident that this will go through. They didn't do so well in the audience poll. They came like 8th or 9th in the audience poll. But maybe I don't know, maybe that's because of the type of audiences. It doesn't lend itself more towards that indie sort of music. I just think they've been so popular in the Eurovision apps and various things that I think hopefully their live performance will come across really well on TV. I still think Slovenia will get through. I also think, despite some concerns from people that it's not looking quite as fun as it did, is that Austria will go through. I'm not sure they'll win the semi, but I think they will go through. I also think, and this is perhaps, although it didn't come in the top 10 in the audience poll, I think Lithuania is through. I think that strong vocal, that thing that will all come together and be impressive on for TV viewers, and yeah, Lithuania has a big diaspora vote. And also sailing through, no problems at all, Australia. I think they will probably win the semi, actually. They're obviously great for the closing position. They're extremely experienced live performers. They're putting on a great show. It'll go through as I suspect as the possible winner. And then so that is already 7 places I think I've given out. So next one I think, which is more likely than not to qualify. You might surprise me to see me saying this. Poland. I think there's enough. She's covered enough of the vocal side of things, and maybe she's improved as well. It is catchy. It is very catchy. It works well for a TV audience, and they put in some very cheesy visuals that they put in, but that kind of works for a televote only semi-final. And they will get. And although there's still that hoo-ha from the national final, I think there will be a big enough diaspora vote. It's getting a lot of, she gets a lot of, Sarah gets a lot of views on YouTube and streams on Spotify. So I think Poland will be going through actually. Not qualifying, I think probably Romania and San Marino. It's a real shame that both they are nice people. They've had a lot of fun, but I just don't think either of those. San Marino are overshadowed by Slovenia and Australia, and Romania it's too bare. It's out there, but not in a way that I think is going to get televotes. So, which leaves us with two places from Albania, Denmark, Estonia, Iceland, Greece, and Georgia. Tough. Albania I had as a not qualifying for a long time, but there's been they obviously put on a really nice show. There's some great live vocals. They don't actually get a big diaspora vote necessarily, so I don't know, but they've certainly put themselves in the frame. Denmark, although I think a lot of it appeals to a certain demographic, I'm wondering whether it will get overshadowed by Armenia, because Denmark opens, and so it may get forgotten. His vocals aren't brilliant, again not necessarily so important for televote, but it could get forgotten. Iceland, I think Iceland is probably going to get forgotten. I think she's a great, she's really energetic, good live performer, but I just don't think the song's there. So then we've got Estonia. I think Estonia will just about go through. I think no one voted diaspora, but as such necessarily. But she's got some impressive visuals and she's got an amazing voice as well. So I think she might just edge it, but it's going to be close. Greece, I think that will not qualify. Greece he could get a big diaspora vote, and that might push it through. But I don't think the stage presence and the vocal is quite there from what I've seen so far. And so while it will pick up some diaspora, it may not be enough to get it into the top 10. And then finally there's Georgia, which is people have had it as a real surefire going through, but then it's been dropping a lot in the app and all these sorts of things. And it didn't do that well on the audience poll either. So tough, because I had thought Georgia was pretty sure going through, and then perhaps I'm going to say that maybe she's far enough away from kind of Armenia, which what they might be compared to get through. And Georgia does have some voting kind of allies, televote allies, so maybe Estonia and Georgia out of those, but I think I can certainly see the case for Albania, Denmark going through instead. Slightly less strong for Iceland and Greece, but yeah, it could be any of those. It'll be interesting to see. I'm going to enjoy the show anyway, and then watching. I'm going to Euro Club later on as well. Watch the semi-final, or the live semi-final. So that'll be exciting. And then I'll be back tomorrow, possibly slightly jaded again, with just some reflections on semi-final too. So obviously, do let me know what you think, what you're looking forward to, and yes, we'll see you again soon. Take care.